Okay, hi everyone. Hi. Not sure if everything's working. If you guys can hear me loud and clear, you can see my screen, everything's working, can you just let me know in the chat box so that I know I'm not just talking to myself. In the meantime, I am also going to log on to see if it's working. Hello. Okay, it's working. Everything's working. Hi. Okay, cool. We're gonna do a live trading session today. Well, live analysis session. Um, this webinar is brought to you by IC Markets Global. The whole point of this webinar today is to help you guys, especially the new traders, especially people who are new in trading, help you guys to see how someone else, like a professional trader, would trade or look for analysis. Okay? So before we move on, as you guys know, I need to do the disclaimer. This is just a standard stuff. Basically, the disclaimer is to remind you guys that whatever I share in these webinars should not be, hey AJ, should not be construed as trading advice. It should not be construed as financial advice or any form of signals to buy or sell. Okay, this is not a signals group. This is purely for educational purposes. The whole point of IC Markets bringing these webinars to you guys is so that you guys have a different perspective of how to do an analysis. Okay, right? So it's not to, again, give you guys any form of signals. So I'm gonna stay here for a minute or two so that you guys can read through the disclaimer. It's just a very short one. So maybe like, yeah, 1 minute will do. Okay, that's a minute, I think. Okay, we're gonna move on. Everyone happy with the disclaimer? I'm gonna move on, okay? Okay, cool. I'm gonna start by introducing your host, which is myself. My name is Cassandra. You guys can call me Cass. Yeah, you guys already know me as Cass. Some of you know me as Bob. I am an investment analyst and a prop trader at Everest Fortune Group. So Everest Fortune Group is a research firm that specializes in forex and equity research. We do a lot of back testing, a lot of forecasting, we spend a lot of time on the charts basically. Hi Jamilu. Hi. Yeah, we spend a lot of time on the charts basically to see where the charts are going, to forecast, to come up with analysis, and then we advise bro- brokers, banks, financial institutions, and a lot of, like, basically people who also need this information for the markets. Okay, other than that, I am also a prop trader. For those who don't know what prop trading is, it means that I trade companies' funds. How do I get to this level? I had to pass a test. To pass this test, I had to do 10% profit within a month. I consistently do 10% profits quite often. I mean, not all the time. Some months I do 6%, some months I do 4%, some months I do 8%, but 10% is not that hard for me. How I do it is I break it down into aiming for 3% a week with one trade. So I try to take one trade a week at least, and that one trade should at least make me 2.5% to 3%. So my aim would be to end the month with 10%. Obviously, it doesn't happen every time. Sometimes the entire week I don't trade and I just end up with like 4%. So as for this month, I am currently 2% in profit. Yeah. So for last week, I was 2% in profit, and I hope I end the month in 10%, but we shall see. I mean, it can be more, but doesn't. It's just a goal, but it's not something that I'm very strict on. Okay, so yeah. agenda for today is to look at the key approaches, the cheat sheet checklist, and the live charts. So key approaches, we'll do that later when we go to the live charts. But basically, whenever I trade or go on the charts, there's a few questions that I will ask myself. The first question I ask myself is, where is trend going? Is it going up or down? Right? So to identify whether trend is going up or down, I need to identify swing highs, swing lows, and then I use that by using a trend line or a channel. Yeah, so I use that by, hold on, let me laser pointer. Okay, there you go. A trend line or a channel. So a trend line, you need at least 3 touches, and a channel, you need 2 touches on the support and 2 touches at the resistance for it to be a valid channel. Okay, so once I've answered that question, where is the markets going, where is price going for this currency pair or whatever pair it is I'm looking at, then it'll be very easy for me to do the rest, because then I will have a rough idea what I'm doing. Because if price is going up, I'm going to get in for a buy. If price is going down, I'm going to get in for a sell. Okay, I'm basically a trend trader. Morning, can we have AUD USD and EU RGBP, please? Yes, of course, we can do that in a bit. Okay, so again, once I've decided where the markets are going, either up or down, then I decide whether I'm going to get in for a buy or sell. Okay, so if it's going up, I'm going in for a buy. If it's going down, I'm going in for a sell. Okay, my next question is, now that I know I'm going in for a buy or a sell, I need to know where I'm going in for a buy or a sell. So first question I ask myself, is price going up or down? Then whatever answer that I get from that will bring me to whether I'm getting in for a buy or sell. And after I decide on whether I'm getting in for a buy or sell, I need to decide where I am getting in for a buy or a sell. So how do I do that? I do that by looking for horizontal levels. So when I say horizontal levels, I mean pullbacks, overlaps, significant swing highs and swing lows, and Fibonacci levels. Okay, for those who don't know what Fibonacci levels are, yeah, I cannot teach you in this webinar today, but yeah, you should master Fibonacci. It will assist you in getting more profitable trades. Other than that, I look for chart patterns, for example, wedges, triangles, double tops, bottoms. These are just examples. And then you can also add in things like death or golden cross using the 250 SMA, simple moving average, or if there's any natural moving averages. Okay, the one that I do end up using before I make my decision is stochastics and RSI. So for stochastics and RSI, I look for support and resistance because I want to see if price is aligned with the price on the charts, if the indicators are aligned with the price on the charts, and then I can see whether if it's at a support or resistance zone, then I can get in for a buy or sell. Other than that, I also pull out stochastics and RSI to look for divergences. Okay, divergences is basically when the price on the charts is going up, but stochastics and RSI is showing that it's going down, which is a sign. It's not 100%, it's not 100%, but it is a possible signal from RSI and stochastics to tell a trader that, hey, there is going to be a possible trend reversal. Okay, other than that will be correlations. Once I'm done doing all this analysis, I pull out things like, if I'm trading US dollars pairs, I pull out things like DXY to see if it's aligned with my analysis. So example of correlation is if price of Canadian dollars is going up, usually the price of oil will go up as well. Why? Because Canada is a very huge producer of oil. Okay, so the prices of oil is usually quite tight to the currency. Other things will be comparing very closely knitted currencies like AUD and NZD. Okay, so usually if AUD is going up, NZD will follow as well. It's not all the time, but this is just most of the time. And other example of correlations will be inverse correlations. For example, if XAU USD is going up, usually, not all the time, but cryptocurrency will go down. Why? Because XAU USD, gold is considered a safe haven metal. So if it's going up, it means that the risky assets will be going down. Okay, so once I'm done with all this analysis, I will then decide if I want to go in for a reversal or a breakout. Usually my style of trading, I get in for a reversal rather than a breakout. Because the thing about breakouts is there's a lot of fake outs happening, so I'm not very good at identifying that. I say I'm not very good because I need to tell you that there is no one trader in the world who can master all strategies, and I cannot master breakout, so I just don't trade it. I just do what I'm good at, and I'm really good at reversals. Well, not really good, but I'm better at reversals. Okay, so yeah, thank you for sitting through that introduction. Thanks for joining our webinar today. Let me pull out the charts. Yeah, there you go. So I'm gonna start with Ethereum because okay, you know what? I'll start with Ren's request and then we can do the rest later. Duplicate. I'm just duplicating a few. Hopefully we can cover those. Okay, so AUD USD is one request. Whenever you look for a currency pair, you do want to choose IC markets here at the side where the charts are from, which broker they are from. Choose IC market so that it's aligned with your spreads. Okay. Oh, looks like it did work out. Oh. I'm not sure. Let me see. I told you guys last week. Oh, guys, this worked out. It's just that it didn't reach the take profit zone. Okay, so last week we did this analysis where I say from here, price will reverse to here, right? Do you guys remember this? See, this was last Monday. It did reverse, it's just that it didn't reach the take profit area. So if anyone got into this, if you took profit early, then this would have still been a very good trade because it looks like, let me see. Sorry, I'm looking for that. What is wrong? Oh, there you go, short position. Let's say you took profit halfway. That is still a 1 to 3 trade. But aiming all the way would have been a 1 to 4. But just taking halfway, maybe just here. Okay, maybe here would have been a 1 to 2.5, which is still not a bad trade. It's just that I personally did not get in on this trade last week. But I'm glad it kind of worked out. Didn't really reach our take profit, but yeah. Right? Actually, I'm sorry. I think I got in on this trade. Yeah, no, I didn't get in. Sorry. Yeah, so last week I said there will be a possible sell from here. I'm 70% confident. It's just that I personally did not get in on this trade. Okay, so that's okay. Whatever it is, I'm just glad the analysis is correct. That's the whole point about trading, right? It's not really about the money. I mean, the money is, of course, a lot of people are trading for the money, right? But the one thing you want to focus on in anything in life, I'm not just talking about trading, like anything at all, it should be being good at your craft. Okay, so the fact that the entry was correct, it didn't reach the take profit, makes me excited. It makes me happy. It's just that maybe the take profit could have been refined. Okay, and I can see why, because there's now a trend line forming. So maybe the take profit could have been a bit higher, but yeah. Let's see what's happening today. Okay, so my self-analysis, I start from the daily to see where price is going. Not looking good. Right? Why am I going on the daily? I want to see if it's making higher highs and higher lows. Technically, it is making... Okay, when you guys see this, do you guys think that it's on an uptrend or a downtrend? Can you guys let me know in the chat box so that I can get your perspective on what you see? Like your point of view. Does it look more like an uptrend or a downtrend to you? Okay, thank you, Jamilu. Okay, since only Jamilu answered. Okay, I mean like one look, I would think it's an uptrend because honestly, if I pull out a parallel channel, I would be able to draw a very nice ascending channel. okay, I would be able to draw a very nice and clean ascending channel. I just don't like this part where it looks like price has weakened. It looks like more like it's not really, it doesn't have energy to push up, you know what I mean? So it's almost as if it's starting to go sideways, right? It's almost as if it's starting to go sideways, but yeah, it's a little too early to tell. Let me try to adjust it. Depending on how you draw the channel, it can come off really, really nice. Okay, yeah, I think this is as good as I can draw the channel. Okay, so if I'm gonna continue using this channel as a guide, I would say yes, it is an uptrend. It's an uptrend. It's just like it's starting to look a bit weak. Starting to look like there's a bit resistance going on. Yeah, regardless, I think I'm happy with the idea that it's an uptrend. Okay, so I don't love the idea because it looks like it's going sideways. But if I have to give a bias, yeah, I think it's up. It's more up than down. Okay, so therefore, I am going to look for a buy entry. Okay, I am going to look for a buy entry. Okay, I'm gonna pull out horizontal levels. Pull this out. Yeah, anyways, on the 4 hours, it's looking pretty clean where it's doing higher highs and higher lows. Okay, so it's pretty clean on the 4 hours if we're focusing on this part, which is where price is currently at right now. Okay, so I think I'm happy to continue looking for a buy rather than looking for a sell. So what I'm gonna do now is look for okay, I'm going to look for horizontal levels. So any pullbacks overlap significant swing highs and swing lows. This is why you pull out your cheat sheet so that you can kind of have a rough idea what you're doing. Okay, so I'm just going to look for the last swing high and the last swing low. This is the last swing high here. So price did a break of structure here. You guys can see it did a break, it did a retest, and then it's back up. So I think this would be a clean break. Yeah, pretty clean break. Obviously, I mean, structurally, it looks like it's a break to the upside. Okay, so I just need it to push higher, and I'm just gonna highlight a few more levels to see if there's any more resistance coming along. Resistance here, and then the next swing high is here. Okay, so these are the three levels you want to look at right now. Okay, why am I looking at this? Because bullish channel. Oh yeah, there is, yeah. If we are focusing here, there is a very clean bullish channel. Let me just highlight that bullish channel. Thank you for, yeah, very clean channel. It could be at the resistance now. Okay, so this is what I think is going to happen. Okay, or I would like to see happen. I would like to see price pull back to here, and then here I will consider getting into a buy. Okay, why not get in a buy here? Why do I not get into a buy here? Because this is a resistance area, right? This is a resistance area. So price came here one time, two times, three times, four times, and then five, and then now it's here on the sixth time. Okay, so is it gonna break now on the sixth time, or is it gonna do a reverse first and then break later on the seventh time? I'm not sure. It all depends on the volume and liquidity at this current point of time. Okay, but I think depending on how this candle forms, okay, if you see a reversal pattern candlestick forming here. Hi, party grandpa. Nice. Okay, if you see a reversal pattern candlestick forming here, maybe you can even go down to a small time frame. Is that a reversal pattern candlestick? Okay, you guys can slowly go and reference. I cannot go through with it with you guys right now because I don't know what's going to form in the next 1 hour. Once this candle is formed, the webinar will have ended already and I wouldn't be able to look at it together. So you guys just have to go on Google, type reversal pattern candlesticks and see if any of the patterns that come out, if whatever forms here looks like any of the patterns that is a suggestion of a reversal pattern candlestick. Okay, if it's a suggestion, then you can, it's a good sign, right? It's a good sign. It means that price will most likely pull back to where I think somewhere along this area. I'm gonna highlight here. Somewhere along this area, this is my area for the buy. This blue box is where I will consider getting in for a buy. Where do I buy it to? I buy it back to this swing high here. Okay, I buy it back to this swing high here. Why is it important to see this reversal pattern candlesticks? Although I personally am not gonna do it, but if you see a reversal pattern candlestick, honestly, if you're feeling adventurous, you could consider playing the pullback. I personally am not gonna do it. This is not a signals group. I'm just putting it out there that there is, like, if there's a reversal pattern candlesticks that forms here, it means that it's going to pull back to somewhere within this green box. So you can kind of play a short from here, like sell here and then your stop loss here, and then your take profit is here. Okay, so let's say you get in for a really quick short, just playing the pullback, it will look something like, okay, just a very tight one, very tight one. 1 to 3. So if you have $100,000 account, you risk $1,000 to make $3,000. Okay, you risk $1,000 to make $3,000. So that's why I asked you guys to see if there's a reversal pattern candlestick, because I kind of see an opportunity to get in for a sell, but it's going to be a very short sell. It's like a quick one, and then after that short sell, I will consider getting in for a buy somewhere along this line here. Okay, somewhere along this line here. Okay, let me go down to a small time frame to see if I can find anything else. Yeah. You know what? The sell could even be here. I mean, sorry, the buy could even be here. Give me a moment. Give me a moment, guys. Sorry. Let me just pull out that channel again. Okay, I'm just trying my best to make the channel make sense. Okay, yeah. The first trade I'm going to come up with is that possible short from here. Stop loss just above that resistance and just above this channel. Okay, somewhere along here. Then you can sell it all the way back to here. So aim for 1 to 3. Okay, I think this is the first thing. The second one is once price pulls back here, right? Once price pulls back here, I just don't know if here is a strong enough to continue with the buy. or it would want to pull back a bit more, right? Because there's also this swing high overlap thing going on here. There's this overlap here. Price came here 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, 6 times, 7 times. Okay, so there's this like zone here where price keeps coming back to. Okay, so there's a possibility it might just pull back to here, pull back to here, and then reverse. That means sell and then buy. Okay, or it could just pull down a bit lower, aiming for this zone here. Okay, but regardless, the one that I see right now will be a sell. Well, not really a sell, it's more like a pullback. I personally am not getting in on this sell because, again, I try not to play pullbacks. I only try to follow the wave. Follow the wave means that if price is going up, I only get in here for the buys. Okay? You can get in here for the sell. It's just not my cup of tea. Okay? It's just not my cup of tea. So that's what I see for AUD USD. It's gonna be like kind of a movement like this. Whether it'll stop here or continue down, I'm not sure at this current point of time. I need to reanalyze again when price is here. But that's what I think is gonna happen. So yeah, you guys decide what you want with that information. But oh yeah, look, Ethereum is playing out so nicely. Remember last Monday we did this analysis together, and I said that Ethereum will most likely pull back to this area here, which is this this ABC, which is here. It's doing this very nice ABC, and it could end now and then start the 5, or it could be an extended wave 4 and then start the 5, but it's looking pretty good. Okay, let me just do a quick check on XAUUSD. XAUUSD should be going up from what I remember last week. Yes, nice, very very nice. Okay, wave 1 has not ended, so we're gonna keep waiting. We're gonna keep waiting for wave 1 to end. Once wave 1 ends, we expect the pullback, and then that's where the buy is going to be. The pullback to 50%. That's Elliott wave for you. You keep adjusting your analysis as price moves. That is Elliott wave. That's how you use Elliott wave. You keep adjusting your analysis as price moves. Okay, so what I'm doing for XAUUSD is waiting for 1 to be done and then the 2 to end, and then I'm gonna get into that 2 and play a very long 3. A very very long 3. Okay, so it's not right now, but yeah, that's the overall gist of XAUUSD. So we're done with AUD/USD. I basically think it's gonna do something like this. Okay, now let's move on to the next one, which is EUR/GBP. EUR/GBP, choose, oh sorry, choose IC markets. Why does EUR/GBP kinda look like AUD/USD? Right? It kinda looks like AUD/USD, right? Yeah, it did that. Okay, I could be wrong, but anyways. Hey, can you guys let me know in the chat box what you guys see for EUR/GBP? Do you see it going up? Do you see it going down? Do you see it going sideways? Do you see any chart patterns? Let me know in the chat box. I see a few things. I'm just seeing if you guys are seeing the same thing as me. Just want to see if you guys are seeing the same thing. In the meantime, I'm going to pull out GBP USD as requested by Party Grandpa. What are your thoughts, guys? No, no one has an input on this. Okay, I personally kinda see a triangle forming, right? I don't see a very clear uptrend or downtrend if I'm just focusing on here. But if we focus on here, it looks like it's going on an uptrend. Okay, if we focus on here, it is doing higher highs and higher lows. Okay, if we're focusing on this structure here, it's doing that. But if we're just focusing on here, it's kind of looking like a triangle. Okay, so which one do we follow? That's the question. Let's pull out the channel first. Yeah. So a valid channel would constitute 2 touches on top and 2 touches at the bottom. So this is a textbook channel that is usable. Okay, so if we're using this channel, it is a uptrend and we should be looking for a buy, right? If we use that triangle that I drew just now, we need to wait for the breakout to happen to decide what's going to happen. Okay, but just to give biasness, because that's the whole point of trading, right? The whole point is to collect data and then decide whether you're up or down. That's basically trading, right? So right now, based on this rectangle, channel, I do want to be a bit more biased that it's going up. Okay, so if the bias is going up, I now need to look for a buy entry. Okay, much clearer on a smaller time frame, making higher highs, higher lows. Okay, this is pretty clean. This is a pretty clean uptrend structure. Getting rid of this so that we're not, like, I don't like it when the charts are very messy looking. Okay, so pretty bias on the buy right now. Not pretty bias, but more bias than it being a sell. I'm going to pull out some horizontal levels. Why did I choose this level? You can see price coming here 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, and then 6 times. It kind of spiked here 6, 7 times. Okay, so this green box is definitely an area to look out for because it is an area that price likes to come back to. Okay, why is that important? Because this could be our entry. Okay, this could be the entry. And your stop loss will be right below this zone because price likes to come here into this green box. So we're just gonna put the stop loss below the green box so that it misses our stop loss. Okay, so if price pulls back to a better entry, I would be happy to get in for a buy. Where do I buy to? Just back to the next swing high. Because if it is really moving in an uptrend, right? If it is really moving in an uptrend, it would have no problem moving back up to the take profit and then making higher highs. You know what I mean? So this is what my analysis will roughly look like, but I need more proof that this is gonna work. Okay, so I don't know if price will come back to the buy entry unless it spikes. Okay, unless price kind of moves sideways and spikes, that's the only way you will probably get triggered for this buy entry. So what I'm gonna do is look for a higher, more likely entry because it looks like this is not going to happen. If price is going to respect this trend line, it's not gonna come back to this buy entry because the buy entry is below the trend line. So a better entry would be, let me see. somewhere within this green box. Now we move our stop loss here, hoping there is a chance the stop loss might get triggered because it might get spiked and, you know, like trigger prematurely because price might not respect this trend line. I hope it respects this trend line, but if it doesn't respect this trend line, there's a high chance that price hits that stop loss. Okay, so I'm hoping it just behaves, does this, especially here where the horizontal level and the trend line meets, does this, and then from here bounces up, and then it just misses the stop loss. Okay, it looks like it's gonna be a very tight trade. It looks like direction wise it's gonna end up working, but there is a high chance, or there is a possibility that the stop loss is gonna get triggered prematurely. So it might do something like this, spike, hit the stop loss, and then continue up. So the safer thing is to maybe move the stop loss up slightly lower, and then it will look like you have a 1 to 2 trade. Say the 1 to 2 at least. No, it's a 1 to 1.8. Okay. To blue and pull up Tuesday, Wednesday. Yeah, hopefully that's what I'm seeing as well, right? It's just that if we put the stop loss here, risk to reward wouldn't be great. But if we put the stop loss here, risk to reward will be better. It'll be 1 to 3 almost. But there is a chance of price spiking and hitting your stop loss, because you need to remember platforms has spreads, like there's spreads. So you might, because of spread, because of volatility, because of whatever it is, the stop loss might get spiked. So you might want to move it a bit lower. Risk to reward isn't that great, but at least it's safer. So you guys decide, you want to take a safer trade or you want to get a higher risk to reward. I would want to aim for a safer trade. I think the sweet spot would be to not go too much at the bottom, like to not go too far, but just maybe safe enough that price might not spike and it'll miss the stop loss. Okay, I think this is still a pretty healthy risk to reward, 1 to 2.5. Okay, usually I aim for 1 to 3. That means if I have a $100,000 account, I risk $1,000 to make $3,000. Usually I aim 1 to 3, but at worst, like the worst case scenario, I try to aim at least 1 to 2.5. So this is looking like a 1 to 2.5. I think that's not too bad, honestly. 1 to 2.5. Honestly, still not too bad. There is a chance that price will not hit the stop loss. Yeah. Why am I so concerned of the stop loss? Why am I so concerned of stop loss? Because can you guys see these last 3 candles? Right? It was very spiky. So I don't want price coming, spiking, hitting your stop loss, and then continue in the correct direction, and then we end up being correct, and then you're just like, oh, I was correct, it's just that the stop loss was too tight. So you guys can adjust your stop loss accordingly, but I think I'm pretty happy with this stop loss where like it's tight, but there's still a chance that the price, it still looks healthy. Okay, so if this works out, it looks like a 1 to 2.5 trade. Okay, now that I've got my analysis, I need to pull out indicators to confirm my bias. You guys know I like to use Ichimoku, although it's not the best. Okay. Yeah, I'm happy with this analysis, honestly. If you guys know how Ichimoku works, the cloud, this Ichimoku cloud, you see this cloud? It works as a form of support and resistance. Do you see the green cloud here? Lining exactly where the horizontal line lines up. Exactly where the trend line lines up. This is a sweet spot right here. Okay, there's gonna be a lot of resistance right there. Okay, so reasons by this is starting to look like a pretty high probability setup. It's just that you might still get spiked out because of the stop loss. Where's the color? Wait, where is my white? Oh, what in the world? White. Okay, there you go. So reasons to buy. Number one, horizontal level lining, horizontal level support. Okay, number two, trend line. Uptrend, bullish trend line. Okay, number three, Ichimoku support lining up with 1 and 2. Where? And 2. Okay, so we've got three reasons why to buy in this exact same spot here. This exact spot I'm talking about. There's three reasons. First, the horizontal level that is lining up here. Number two, the trend line that is lining up here. And also the Ichimoku. It's really looking like a sweet spot. Really looking like yeah, it's really looking good. Okay, so then I want to pull out other things like RSI and stochastics to see if other things are lining up. This is just confluence. The more confluence we have, the higher probability your setup's gonna be. It's not gonna be 100%, but it's just high probability. It will just make you feel better. I mean, it's not really saying much. Price is doing this. Price is also doing this. Okay, one thing good is that there is no divergence. I don't see a divergence. If anyone sees a divergence, let me know. Yeah, looks like RSI and stochastics is following price action pretty closely. Look, it's doing this and this is doing this as well. This is also doing this. So it's copying the price and the charts pretty closely. I just don't like that it's not at a support level, and that's okay. Okay, so RSI and stochastics not really giving us more information, not really helping us with more information. Okay, let me pull out fib levels. How do I how do I do this, guys? I'm so sorry. Okay, there you go. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm going to keep 50% and 61.8%. The rest I'm going to get rid of it. Why? Because you guys know that for Fibonacci, the golden ratio is 61.8 anyway. So the favorite level is 61.8%. Although price doesn't go there all the time, but that's the favorite level. So if I had to guess where price is going to reverse to, I'm just going to say here. Somewhere between the 50 and the 61.8. Okay, so this area here is going to be my sweet spot for the entry to buy. Okay, this is gonna be my sweet spot. I'm gonna change it to yellow. Another color so you guys no divergence. Yes, I don't see one either. Okay, so this blue spot here is the higher the where I think. Okay, this where I colored blue is where I think price is gonna reverse to, and then you can get in for a buy. This is gonna be a stop loss, so it's gonna be like 1 to 2.5. Not the best risk to reward, but that's all I can find at this current point of time. And it might not even go to 2.5 because if you want to take profit a bit earlier, maybe somewhere here, right? You never aim for the highest high. You always aim slightly lower. If you want to take slightly lower, it's still going to be about 2 to 2.5. Okay, so this is what I have for you, RGBP. I'm pretty happy with this analysis, just not very happy with the stop loss placement. Okay, I'm just not very happy because you guys see how long this candle is? You see how long this candle is? This one I'm drawing here. This one, this candle. I'm just afraid of the spiking us out. Other than that, I'm quite happy with the direction and the analysis. Yeah. Okay, so next will be GBP USD. I've got like 10 more minutes with you guys, and I really gotta go. Why does everything look like it's going sideways? Okay, anyways, I see an uptrend. It's just that like here, where current prices looks like it's going sideways, but I know the overall is an uptrend, right? If I'm taking from 7th of April, it is an uptrend. Okay, it's just that right now, price doesn't look very, it looks like there's no strength. I want to adjust it as the best that I can. Hold on, guys, sorry. I'm trying to touch as many points as I can. Okay, I think this is the best I can go. Okay, so I know this one missed, but I'm gonna count it because it's really close. 1, 2, 3 touches. 1, 2 touches, 3 touches. Okay, so this is a valid uptrend channel. Okay, pretty happy with this actually. Okay, now that I know where I'm gonna go, I want to look for a buy, right? Because I want to follow that. Where am I gonna look for a buy? Oh, I don't really see one, honestly, guys. Sorry. Okay. I see a breakout happening, but like I said in our introduction, can you look at daily? Yeah. So daily is showing me an uptrend. So I am kind of biased that it is an uptrend. The next horizontal level, the next swing high is here. So we have quite a bit of room left for upwards movement. We have quite a bit of room for upwards movement. No signs of downtrend if I'm just looking for price action. If I'm just looking at price action, I don't see any clear signs of any downtrend. So I'm pretty happy of this being an uptrend. Okay, yeah, I'm pretty happy of this being an uptrend. Right, so back to that. Okay, what I'm seeing is possible breakout here and then a continuation. So if it's gonna be a breakout and then a continuation, it's just that, like I said in the beginning of my webinar, I don't like to play breakouts. Why? Because it likes to do you guys notice that breaks out it fakes out and then comes back in? Right? Or am I just unlucky and I keep catching the fake outs? Okay, so I've caught a lot of fake outs and I'm just like, okay, you know what? Breakouts is not for me. I'm not going to trade the breakout anymore. So I personally don't like trading the breakout because of this reason. But if you are someone who likes to trade breakouts, the rule is trend line, breakout, a retest, and then continuation. Okay? I just don't like it. Okay, but that being said, I'm going to try to see if it does not break out. If it does not break out, it's almost as if it's going sideways. Right? Because now it's making... No, okay, yeah. Just give me a moment, guys. I need to think about this structurally. Structurally, it's... Okay, if I had to guess, if it does not break out right now, if I had to guess where is it gonna pull back to, I'm pretty happy with this zone. Okay, I'm pretty happy with the idea of price if it does not break out. Okay, if it does not break out, means that it's gonna pull back, right? If it does not break out, it means that it's gonna pull back. Where is it gonna pull back to? I'm pretty happy with the idea of it pulling back here. Okay, why? Price came here one time, two times, three times is smaller than one, four times, five times, six times, kind of hover within this, and then finally did a breakout. Okay, so this blue area is definitely a key level that price is attracted to. On top of that, we've got this like trend line aligning with it, with that level. Obviously, depending on how I draw it, right? Right, it could have been drawn this way, it could have been drawn the other way. Okay, but remember, trend lines and channels should only be used as a guide. Okay, sorry, I'm trying to see if it touched. Okay, I think this is as good as I can draw it. But anyways, I'm pretty happy with this area being the buy zone. If it does not break out here, I think it's going to pull back to somewhere within this blue box, and then somewhere within this blue box you can enter for buy. Where exactly in this blue box? I'm a bit more biased of it being here. Okay, but let's see. That looks like a 50%. Oh, it's exactly at the 61.8%. Okay, so if I had to make an assumption of where I think price is going to pull back to, I think it's going to be somewhere within this blue box, but more likely within where this 61.8% is. Okay, I'm going to put my stop loss just slightly below this blue box. Okay, hoping that price does not spike us out. And then my take profit is going to be, you can aim for the highest high, but that's not very wise. Just aim slightly lower somewhere here. And then we've got, it looks like a 2.5 as well. 2.5. Yeah, 2.5 trade. Obviously, I like to aim for 1 to 3, but if the chart is not going to give me 1 to 3, I cannot force the 1 to 3. You can force it by trying to aim as high as you can, but that's just being very greedy, right? Usually, if you're greedy in trading, you're going to get burned, right? So let's aim a bit lower. Maybe you can aim to somewhere about 2.93, maybe, right? But don't aim the highest high. Don't aim this highest high, but somewhere around here. Okay, so I think the take profit can be somewhere around this zone. This zone, but I'm just gonna aim for the lowest. Even aiming for somewhere along the lowest is about 1 to 3, which is not bad. It's pretty healthy. Okay, so this is my analysis for GBP USD. I now need to pull out indicators to confirm. I know I'm pulling out Ichimoku, even though I know Ichimoku is not going to tell me anything. Yeah, Ichimoku is not going to tell me anything because price is going sideways. Ichimoku does not work for sideways market, but RSI and stochastics might tell me something. Not telling me either. Okay, it's only telling me that it's at a resistance and it's time for a reversal. It's time for a sell, actually. It's literally what RSI and stochastics is telling me, that it's time for a sell. Yeah, because if I pull out this horizontal level here, see, every time price comes here, on a daily has wick from Black Friday. Yep, I agree with you. Okay, so Can see every time price came here, there's going to be a little bit of a reaction back to the downside. So price was here, it should be a reaction back to the downside. I hope that reaction is enough to pull us back to the entry, and then you get in on the entry, and then you play it back to the take profit. Okay, so that's all I have for you guys this week. Basically, I think this is a buy. Okay, I think this is a buy. I think this is a buy. GBP USD, I think it's a buy. EUR GBP, I think it's a buy. ETH USD, I think it's going to be a buy eventually. We just need to wait for price because it's going sideways right now. That's the thing about wave 4 on Elliott wave. Wave 4 is the wave that bores everyone out. It keeps going sideways until everyone is bored, and then it's happy. Okay. I think this is a gold is a buy as well. It's just that not right now. It needs to pull back first. Okay, so that's all I have for you guys today. I'll see you guys again next week. Hopefully everything works out for you guys. I am doing a Bahasa webinar for IC markets tomorrow. Those who are from Indonesia and from Malaysia, you can join my Bahasa webinar tomorrow at 3 p.m. Singapore time. Otherwise, the English webinars are the same time on Monday. Okay, I'll see you guys in a week. Okay, bye. Take care.